You are listening to a Life in Quebec podcast. For more, visit lifeinquebec.com.
The article you're about to hear, Big in Spain, The Lost Fingers Finding Their Way in the World, was written by me, Ruby Pratka, and appeared in the December 2015 edition of Life in Quebec Magazine. Gypsy jazz traces its roots to 1930s France. Power pop was born in the glittering disco halls of the US and Britain. When two classically trained Quebec guitarists and a computer technician turned bass player, Byron Michalov, Christian Roberge, and Alex Morissette, combined the genres, the Lost Fingers were the explosive result. Lost Fingers came together almost by accident. It was very serendipitous, but once it did come together, a lot of dots started connecting, said Michalov, who had previously had a Canadian hit single with the dance band One Ton. Big things are coming, bigger than I've ever hoped for. When Life in Quebec last spoke to Michalov, the band had just released Wonders of the World, a concept album that put a gypsy jazz twist on some of pop's most famous one-hit wonders. Roberge had moved on to other projects and was replaced by François Rioux on guitar, and Quebec singer Valérie Amiotte added a new layer to their sound, which until then had been mainly instrumental. François is an incredible guitarist who's going to be the next jazz guitar instructor at Université Laval in a few years. Valérie is only 24, but she's an amazing singer. Alex and I have an overall vision for the project. Together we're very strong, says Michalov. He regularly refers to the group as The Project, a musical animal that's constantly growing and changing. Since Wonders of the World, which received a Juno nomination, the Lost Fingers have been evolving in a wonderful world of their own creation. After the album came out, the group set off on an off-the-beaten-track tour, sidestepping Paris and London for Kiev, Odessa, Athens, Istanbul, Amman in Jordan, and smaller towns across France and Spain. We're popular in a lot of really quirky markets, says Michalov. Spain is one of our biggest countries. People just love the sound. It's like that in Turkey and in Greece and in Eastern Europe. We incorporate a lot more world music into our stuff now rather than sticking to gypsy jazz. It's music that makes you travel when you listen to it. The Lost Fingers have played in more than 20 countries and draw inspiration everywhere they perform. We discovered a sort of 5-string ukulele from the Canary Islands, and we're trying to collaborate with a great player and do something island-ish. We've worked with Turkish musicians, French musicians, Russian musicians. We're approaching music as gypsies would. If people can discover other kinds of music through us, then that's great. The group's concert in Amman left an especially strong impression on Michalov, who's as comfortable talking about Middle East politics as he is about the music business. It's very rare that groups can go to the Middle East. It's scary. You go there and see beautiful places, religious sites like the River Jordan, but there's so much military buildup around them. There's no stability, and arms dealers are making a ton of money off this. I don't like to bring politics into music, but I hate seeing this. Greece is also amazing, and it's sad that they're so hard hit by economic problems. Very fun people and great energy. Although the Lost Fingers have stayed close to home over the past few months, playing shows around the Mauricie, at a camp for underprivileged children run by the Lise Wattier Foundation, and at the Quebec City International Jazz Festival, they don't plan to put their suitcases away for long. In early 2016, we're going on one of our biggest tours in Spain. We're partnering with a big radio station. We're on billboards. It's going to be huge. I'm also looking at going to Asia sometime in 2016-2017, working with Chinese musicians. Michalov's disarming guy-next-door vibe belies his business acumen and talent for networking. I've always been a salesman. I would do weird things to make money as a kid, and when I got older it became a question of survival, he says. I just go into things with an open mind and an open heart and do it because I love it. I don't do anything halfway. As the group's business manager and public face, Michalov has cold-called his way into some one-of-a-kind collaborations with multiple Grammy-winning guitarist John Jorgensen and renowned jazz guitarist Biréli Lagrène, who played with the group during a recording session in early October and will appear on their next album. Michalov also bought the rights to Wonders of the World back from record giant Sony. The group is now working with Lab Records, a smaller label run by aeronautics heir Louis-Armand Bombardier. Lab Records stands for Let Artists Be, and Bombardier has a cool philosophy, helping artists own their own material. Buying back material from a record company is very complicated, but we have our integrity back. The group has also become one of the faces of Lexus in Canada. It gives us more financial power to control our art, Mikolov explains. The last 2 albums we've had no government grants, just Alex Morissette and me making the decisions, and those are probably the albums I'm proudest of. We have our artistic integrity and we can just do what we want to do. Mikolov is looking forward to the next decade, but looks back fondly on the group's past as well. Opening the Festival d'été de Québec in front of 50,000 people, in our own city where I started out busking on the street, was pretty amazing, adds Mikolov, who grew up in Vancouver, but has called Quebec home since studying classical guitar at the Domaine Forget Conservatory in Saint-Irénée, near La Malbaie. I'd gotten accepted to conservatory in Orlando, but I know I would change as a human being if I chose Quebec, he recalls. Eventually, Quebec chose him. He spoke hardly any French when he arrived, but now does a regular arts column in French for Radio-Canada. I travel a lot and my roots are in English Canada, but a part of my heart is always in Quebec City. I really like where the new Lost Fingers are going. We have some great new concepts in the works, says Mikolov. Among those concepts are a world music-influenced Christmas album for December 2016 and a special box set for the following year to celebrate the group's 10th anniversary. And of course more shows, coming to a small, cozy concert venue near you. Lost Fingers will never sell out the Centre Vidéotron, but it's not arena music. It has to be intimate. You have to be able to draw people into the music. I would like to bring it up a notch and play theaters of a few thousand people. I think that's coming.
Thank you for listening to the Life in Quebec podcast. For more news, commentary, editorials, and opinion, visit lifeinquebec.com/podcast.